Alright, we have a Vox Continental, and as you can hear, it's a little hissy. This is the preamp card over there, and that's generally caused by transistors. Also can be caused by bad resistors as well. In any case, we're going to change the transistors first and see what happens. I think the first thing we're going to have to be able to do is take that off. We're going to take that offline. Alright, on the card itself, this is one transistor and this is the other. We've replaced the electrolytic capacitors initially because we find that when they're old, they're no longer their stated value. And because of that, there will be an issue with regards to this. Now, the end result here is that these are color-coded, and you have to look at them in a particular manner. If you look at the bottom of the transistor, you'll see there's a red dot, and on these old ones, and that's unusual markings because nowadays they don't do that. But that is the collector. If you look at the transistor itself, you'll see underneath with the red dot leads up, red dot facing to your right, they form a triangle. The yellow lead the left bottom corner of the triangle, the red the right bottom quarter triangle, and the black being the apex. The black in this case is the base, and the yellow is the emitter. So you'll find that that is the way they do it in the shape of a triangle. That is not always the case with some of the newer ones, but if you're going to replace these, you're going to find that they are going to be in that method. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit there and I'm going to take the sleeving off so you can see that they are in a triangle. You see? On some transistors where the emitter is on the left here, there'll be a little tab that sticks out. If you have one of those, it's still a transistor, but that was the marking from that manufacturer for the emitter. In this case, the dot means it's the collector. That confuses the issue. You'll find that the ones we sell as replacements are also in a triangle, like so. And there's no dot or any other marking on them. And you'll find that this is the emitter, and this is the base. By the way, these are PNP germanium. If you attempt to substitute them, their betas have to be up around 200 or so. And like I said, we have units we can sell you. In this particular case, we want to put them back the way they were. And we're going to put them in one lead at a time, and then we're going to fill them through. You don't want excessive lead on the unit, and one of the ways to find a noisy transistor, if it's germanium, is to put your finger on it for about a half a minute. If the noise increases slightly because of your body temperature versus ambient, then you're going to find that that is the transistor which has become noisy. In this case, we're going to replace both units based on the age of the Vox itself. We don't want to take any chances, and then there may be some additional parts later. So there we have the transistor put in, emitter, base, and collector. Alright, and what we're going to do is trim the excess lead off, and then change the second one. We recommend you change only one at a time to avoid any confusion about which way the leads went in. Alright, also too, Notice there may be a slight difference in size in the can and everything else, but basically this is just a different manufacturer. It's a similar item. Alright, so we're going to take the leads again, and we're going to unsolder them. I'm pulling on the transistor while holding the card, and there we go, it's out. Remember, the dot is the collector, and the apex of the triangle is the topmost part, is the base. So that's likely the same in this particular case. And that's the emitter. That's the base. And that is the collector. What often happens to the transistor when they get older is there is electromigration between the junctions. This can cause the transistor to become noisy, make snap, crackle, pop noises. We call that the Rice Krispie phenomena, but basically the noise is pretty loud. It may sit there and hiss, and every now and then you'll get a little snap, crackle, and pop. In audio transistors that are in the preamp or power amp stage, that can be quite loud in some instances. It's usually a small one, not a big one, that does it. I'm trying to get the third lead in. Alright, and then we're pushing the transistor through to the bottom. I've done this without actually solder sucking the holes. It would be easier if you did solder suck the holes, but it's easier for me to just change it the way this is in this particular instance. That way there we don't have to stop the camera for very long. Alright, so there you have the transistors replaced. That's not going to be the only possibility. Another possibility would be that the transistors are part of the problem, but yet the resistors on there, and you're going to have to check each one with one lead disconnected. Occasionally what happens when they're in the feedback circuit, they become noisy. When that happens, the end result will be that no matter what you've done, you can't turn off the noise. Much less.
That's much less. It's cured.
Alright, so I don't think we need to do anything with the resistors. By the way, when you do find a resistor that is going to do this, let's use an example, a 10k ohm resistor. It's not going to be anywhere near its 10% or 5% tolerance. As a 5% tolerance, it might be 500 ohms either way. In other words, 10,500 with the immediate maximum. You're going to find it's going to be like 14 or 15,000. And that's going to affect the operation.
And the amplifier is pinned on 10, so that is drop dead quiet.